Hello again, everyone. This is the weekend update. Today is Saturday, March 31st, and we're going to take a look at the S&P 500 today, and then check in on the VIX, and then look at the FANG stocks, Facebook, Amazon, Netflix, and Google, and see how they're acting with this move to the downside that we had here over the last couple of weeks. All right, the S&P 500 was up on Thursday. We're closed on Friday. It was up 35.87. On Thursday, so we got a little bounce. It's interesting that we were a lot higher with about an hour or so left in the trading day, and then they started to take it down, and literally the S&P, the SPX dropped almost 11 points in the last 10 minutes of the day. The Dow dropped 97 points in the last 10 minutes as they got hit pretty hard with some sell orders going into the close. So still, it closed above the trading for Wednesday. And we got a little bit of a bounce here for this week. Let's take a look at a weekly chart. I mean, you could say that we've kind of retested that low from February 8th, the low closing, the low close, let's put it that way. We haven't retested the intraday low of February 9th, at least not yet. I still think we got more to go. Looking at the Elliott wave count in here, I do not think Manu wave 3 is completed to the downside. I'm still looking for a 5-wave sequence down. Let's take a look at the weekly chart. S&P weekly here, it was up 52.6 points for the week. So you can see we got a little bit of a bounce this week. And based on this candle, we kind of close, the body of the trading was right in the middle of the range for the week. So just a little bit of an inside candle, inside up candle is what I call this. Now, what's interesting, if we continue to rally here, we could pull back up to this trend line. Just don't know if we're going to get that or not. But right now, that's, I'm still looking for the trend to continue to the downside. Let's take a look at the monthly chart, and you'll see that for the month we were down almost 73 points. So back-to-back lower months in here, February and March. And, we had that big hanging man. I know I called it a hangman in one of my videos earlier, but it really is a hanging man. We had that pattern here for February. We haven't taken out that low yet, so kind of watching that. Doesn't have to happen the very next month. Watch to see what happens here for the month of April. Now, we still haven't closed below that 10-month moving average either. So a couple of negative months. We'll see what kind of continuation we get in here. Let's take a look at the VIX. The VIX pulled back on Thursday, closed below the 10-day moving average. It closed at 19.97, so basically 20. And it's interesting that I've got this line drawn here. This is 2017 high close was 1604 for the VIX for the entire year. And it's interesting how since February 2nd, we have stayed, except for a handful of days, actually just, let's see what, in terms of closes, 1, 2, 3, 4 days, we closed below that low since February 2nd. Everything else has stayed elevated. So you can see how the VIX is definitely the fear gauge, the volatility gauge is definitely staying at an elevated stage, especially when you look at how it's been trading over the last couple of years. All right, that's the VIX right now. Let's take a look at Facebook. Facebook's been hammered. We all know that. Of the 4 FANG stocks, the original FANG stocks, let's call it that way, 2 out of the 4 have broken the February 9th low. So here's the February 9th low, which was that big selling deluge that happened from the March 26th high on the market down to February 9th intraday low. And Facebook has shattered that. And really the big thing here with Facebook, to me, 150 looks like very strong support in here, right in the middle of all of this trading that occurred back in summer of last year. If this doesn't hold, then it's going to take another really, really strong leg back, down. It's got to hold 150 in my opinion. So that's the picture on Facebook. That's the big thing that jumps out at me on Facebook. Let's take a look at Amazon. Amazon's been pretty strong. This hasn't broken the low. You can see how it had a pretty strong rally here coming off that February 9th low. Now, it has gotten weak this last week. Everybody's talking about the president's the tweets where he's attacking Amazon and Jeff Bezos and talking about Washington Post and et cetera, et cetera. But on Thursday, we got a pretty potential reversal candle in here. We could see this pop back up, close the gap, pull back up a little bit. This has been fairly strong. So, I mean, we got a moving average cross. It looks like it's starting to break down. This is definitely worth watching because, at least, Facebook and Google, we'll get to Google, they've started to break down. And Netflix has been, I would say, even stronger than Amazon. And that it too, on Thursday, had a potential reversal candle in here. But it broke this, we had a 3-month trend line in here that it broke on Wednesday, Thursday. It started to do it on Tuesday. It continued pretty strong on Wednesday, and then Thursday we had that little reversal that occurred. So now the real test is, can it stage a rally in here, or is it just going to pull back up to this neckline, this trend line, and then roll back over again? I mean, it's gotten very, very extended, but we'll see. Let me see what the weekly chart looks like in here. See if we see any different picture. No, not really. I mean, there's no close below the 10-week moving average or anything. I mean, it's pretty strong uptrend here still on Netflix. So that is the third FANG stock. And Google, the interesting thing about Google, this is a weekly view. Okay, I got the W down here. This is a weekly view. So the big thing is Google is almost right at the long-term trend line of this entire bull move from March of 2009. So it came down. That's what it did this last week. And for the week, it was up $10.59. It's not a huge move for Google based on where the price is in here. Now the real test is going to be, can it hold this? Can it turn this around? Because this too has gotten some selling pressure. It also, intra-week, during the week, took out that February 9th low. So that is the second. So 2 out of the 4 stocks have broken down enough to the degree that they've taken out that February 9 low. Let's take a look at the daily chart real quick, see if it's showing us anything different. I mean, big moves that you can see here, big downdrafts. I'm not seeing, I mean, I think that there's some decent support that's coming in here that we got to watch to see if it's going to hold. And actually, 1,000 is the level that I was really watching on Google. If we close below 1,000, that just looks like a strong support area to me. We broke through it on Wednesday, but we didn't close below 1,000. I think if we close below 1,000, that's definitely going to be a sign of weakness. And of course, if we do that, it's probably going to break that long-term trend line. Okay, this is it for this weekend. I guess the real question is, the retest down here on the S&P 500, the Dow closed below, the Dow Industrials have closed this last week, closed below the low close in here. So the real question is that it on a retest? I personally don't believe so. Based on Elliott wave patterns, I think we've got more to go to the downside. Okay, that's it for this video. If you felt like the video was helpful, please hit the thumbs up. And if you're not a subscriber, subscribe and click on that little notification bell. It'll let you know when new video has been published. And remember to share the video. Don't hesitate to do that. Just click on the link and share the video, and head on over to joehenches.net and check out the website. Everyone have a great rest of the weekend.